Hello gems, I'm sorry that for this month your video is coming so late, but definitely you are one of the ones I wanted to do the soonest. I got very sick. Normally I don't get sick, and this time it was like downfall, And so, yeah, now finally the video is gonna be there. So let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. I like to combine astrology with tarot, so I always have my notes of astrology right in front of me, because I think that astrology is a very nice tool to use when I'm doing general readings. This is just general stories or one precise story that might resonate with you or not, Gemini, but I just wish that if that's the case that resonate with you, that it might be of help. Okay? Now, getting into the reading, because, man, if something, the word that came out to my head while I was checking your chart and while I start shuffling the cards, Gemini. This is a very busy time for you. And I think that the word that came to my head was psychic. I think that during this period, and most surely throughout this week, we're gonna have a full moon eclipse, partial eclipse in Taurus, which represents your 12th house. There is also Venus, Pluto together in your 8th. There has been a lot of energy in your 6th house as well, like where Scorpio is. I think that you have been working a lot here into something. And I think that maybe right now this is your situation. It's like you, Gemini, multitask, going into all the directions, taking care of that, doing that, so that you can arrive to the end of the cycle of a situation in your life that might have something to do regarding your work, as I'm feeling this. Now, when I'm talking about the psychic, and this is something that maybe is happening at the background, something that you're experiencing internally that has nothing to do maybe with all these actions you're taking right now. Maybe you're in a moment right now in your life where you're moving a lot. Maybe you don't have a job, but maybe you're being very proactive in some things that you'd like to do, or maybe meeting new people, or maybe there is a precise thing that you need to do that it requires a lot of attention from you, to the point that you might feel in some moments quite tired, Gemini. I'm gonna put it there. Like, I think that you are a little bit at this moment, it's like you are at full speed, you know that you are at this of getting all this stuff done, but at the same time you feel like, man, I just want to take all these things out of my back. All this weight that I've been carrying on with me, I want it out of my back, of my head, of my heart, Now, let's see where this reading is taking us, because, this could take us in many different situations. Page of Swords coming in your past. What is coming in the obstacle? Something that you have been analyzing through in the past. You have maybe regarding something that you had to do regarding your career or work you're doing. You have been putting a lot of, and it makes sense, guys. Mars in your 6th, together with the Sun and Mercury, Scorpio energy, like you being very analytical or in research of new knowledge about something about your career or something that you do practically in your routines. Maybe this is not just about work, but maybe you were doing research about your health routines. That's the 6th house, gems. Like you wanting to work out, working out on how can you improve your health, or how can you improve, feel more energetic again after maybe coming from a period of being like, whoa, why I'm so exhausted, even though I know I'm like super at 100%, why in some moments I'm feeling maybe burnout or drain, you know. And maybe you have been looking at the situation already for some time and trying to see where you could get new ideas on how to arrive to the end of this issue. Now, what is coming in the obstacle for gems? What is coming in the obstacle? What is coming in the obstacle for gems? Please. What is the obstacle for Geminis? What is the obstacle for Geminis? Man, I really had a feeling that this card was gonna pop out for your reading, gems. Do you look at this moon here? I mean, for me, this is the eclipse in Taurus that we're gonna experience on the 19th. I mean, this Saturday. I might probably publish this video on the 19th as well. I mean, this Taurian energy in your 12th house. Gems. And this is exactly what is coming as an obstacle for you right now. I think that this is the intuition, something that you knew already for some time that maybe was coming, and maybe it was difficult to let it come. Because the thing of maybe this intuition you had, excuse me, but man, I'm still like, it's insane. It's still like I'm trying to get better, but you know, I'm just gonna do it this way. You're gonna have to, excuse me if I'm gonna put, I don't know, it's lines over the camera, or I don't know, but you knew that this is something that was coming for a while, Gem. This 8 of Cups, leaving behind something that emotionally doesn't satisfy you any longer. It's a very transformative energy, this 8 of Cups. And you, precisely you, Geminis, and the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, I think that for you, you're gonna be one of the signs that is gonna be the most touched by this intense period of Scorpio season, you know? Like, because the houses that are being activated for you, there are houses that talk about the psychic, the intuition, like also about health, transformation. I mean, you know, Pluto is in your 8th house, so it means your 8th house throughout this last period and still through next. It's gonna be, there are gonna be some important transformative situations that you might get from other people, like maybe throughout one precise connection in your life, or maybe your partner might go through massive transformation, and this is something that might affect you deeply throughout this period. And Venus, when it enters in the 8th house, and then we're gonna have this full moon in Taurus together with Uranus, you know, in your 12th, doing a positive aspect to Venus in your 8th. So maybe this is something that you wanted to, it's like you intuitively, you felt that this was coming, but maybe you had difficulties to let it come because you knew that this might meant to leave something behind at emotional level, Gemini. And I think that maybe right now you were emotionally feeling very drained, or you are right now feeling very drained, even though you're super active and you're like at 100% speed here, and you know that you are finalizing something here that is very important. I think that emotionally you have some issues on how to move on from a situation. Now, what is coming next for Gemini? This eclipse is like, the eclipse, it's like eclipse of that situation. If this is something that emotionally was draining you, you might really find even an unexpected way, as what Uranus brings with together with the eclipse. It's almost like maybe an unexpected way, or in some moments suddenly there is this idea that pops out in your head, or maybe you get a dream, or there is something maybe that you experience throughout this weekend that it's almost like comes to the light, and maybe this is something that you could not put a name to, and then suddenly this becomes clear to you, Gemini. And maybe this is something that it doesn't have to be something external that gives you this idea. I don't think it's gonna be that way. I honestly think this is more about you and you being super psychic. No? And I get this feeling, Gems. I really think that you're gonna be, it's like your brain, your mind, it's very awakened right now. Very, very awakened. And your mind and your intuition and your heart as well, they are asking you to pay attention to certain things that having been helping you out. Man, 10 of Swords in the back. Things that, routines, maybe situations with people or at work, or the way you used to do things. I get this feeling very strongly, Gem. The way you used to do things is not healthy anymore, maybe. And you're starting to come to realization about this, Gemini. Like there is something about you do the way you do things that I think you need to leave behind, because this is emotionally making you very, very tired. And it's almost like all these cups that might look in the past fulfilled, right now they are completely empty. They are not as what you know you want. Now, what is coming next for Gemini, please? What is coming next for Gemini, please? What is coming next for Gemini, please? You are into, you're fighting. What I like the most about this card, you know what it is that no matter how still you need to battle this issue, or right now you're in the middle of the shit, maybe Gemini, maybe for some of you it's something more, it's a situation that takes higher dimensions than for others. But I get the feeling that I'm connecting here with Gemini that it's very fucking sick of a situation, and it's like you're in a moment where you're pushing, and what I love about this is that you are in the upper position here, Gemini. You are in the position of feeling the strength enough to keep on going. Like you are keep on going here, and knowing that you are in the higher position to defend whatever you need to defend. I get a really the strong feeling that there is something here that maybe you need to fight for, or you feel you need to fight for, Gemini, or that's what you have been doing. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. I'm just making a description of what I'm seeing here. Alright? Now, how is Gemini coming consciously in the reading? Emotionally needing to leave something behind that is being the obstacle. Your fight, it's almost like, you know what I feel? When I look at these cards, it's like you are tired, you're doing everything, you're taking care of that and that and that. Maybe you need to help a lot of people, or one precise person all the time, or maybe something about your work. Maybe you're the only one taking care of all the job all the time, or having the most important tasks, and you know that this is something that is like you cannot keep on going, but you keep on going, and you keep on going even though you have a high level of tolerance here, but emotionally, like you want to take a new road here. But why I feel that no matter what we're talking here about, whatever, if it's a relationship at work or, you know, I feel that it's almost, I feel like you're not really wanting yet to detach emotionally from the situation, Gemini. Maybe you feel you can't, it could be. You know, sometimes when we get used to something, even sometimes when it can be a painful situation or painful relationships or painful jobs that we actually don't like, sometimes just because of the idea we get used to it, we just keep on doing it even though we know it's like not what we want. Or sometimes it can be, you know, because emotionally you are still attached to the situation for real, like you still have deep emotions, and because of these emotions you feel that you cannot move on, which would be different, you know. Now what is happening as how you're coming consciously in this reading, Gemini? Now Gemini, how I'm feeling this reading, man. What is coming for Gemini? Six of Coins or Pentacles. You want to be fair. Probably also, man, I think that definitely I'm connecting. Man, your sixth house, Scorpion energy this month. Most surely right now. I mean, man, this really makes so much sense. Like, in that way. It's like I feel almost like there is something about your work or something that you have to do, practically speaking, maybe has touched your finances or your administrative or economical life right now. Something that you know you need to be careful with. You need to be fair. You need to pay attention to your maybe accounts or your balance, or maybe it's just not about money, but it's like you administrating well your time, needing to be very organized here, Gemini, knowing where to give, where not to give, how much time I'm gonna put an effort doing this and less on that, because I really get the feeling that you're super busy right now, or you're going into a situation where you know you are like you're gonna have to take care of many things at the same time. I mean, and I have no doubt that Geminis, you are the best doing that. Like, you know, you are the most capable on doing this. But I really get the feeling like also when I look at your chart, you know, and I'm looking at all these energies, like you have this sixth house in Scorpio, which is like, as I said, these work routines, health, like you paying attention, maybe have been analyzing the situation and saying, man, I should be more careful with this, with that. But at the same time, you're so busy that maybe you cannot go through these changes to improve this situation. And because of that, then you have in your 12th house opposing your 6th, the psychic house, collective unconscious of Taurus, where actually you have Uranus as well. It's like maybe opposing all this energy in your 6th. So in some moments, I gotta say, I think in some moments you feel like very tired on how this is affecting your the way you think. Maybe it's like in some moments the way you feel and the way you think, it's very disturbing regarding the situation. Maybe like you feel drained or feel tired. And now what is coming in the environment for Gemini? King of Swords. Man, this King of Swords has been coming a lot in my readings. In almost, I gotta say, the same position. What is coming in the hopes and fears? Someone, whoever might be, maybe, you know, somebody wants to. I also get this feeling, Gemini, maybe this is just for somebody out there. It might be that there is an economical situation, maybe regarding your finances, like something that you had to do, arrange papers that you needed to sign, maybe taxes. When we're talking about Venus and Pluto in your 8th house, and they're gonna stay there for a long time, and it might be that there is an important situation that you are gonna pay attention to, or you might get some balance out from this situation that has to do with the finances of someone else. Maybe this could represent maybe a lawyer or somebody that does administrative work, tax payment work, or somebody that works for the state, or somebody that works in an enterprise that maybe you needed to arrange something with this person. I know that this is very specific, but I think that I need to express this as I'm feeling this reading. I think that you were maybe expecting something for a long time, and maybe right now you're starting to get maybe that message or that communication, or that maybe something is being put in decision. Look, man, I have the devil here in the back. This is Capricorn energy, your 8th house. Something about the finance of someone else was a struggle for you, Gemini. And maybe you were waiting for a certain message or information so that you could feel you could balance out your own position regarding this situation. Maybe this King of Swords could represent maybe 8th house, the finances of a partner, somebody that you work with or that is very close to you, but probably I would say somebody that maybe even you share an intimate relationship with, and maybe this person needed to go through their situation was influence you or is influencing right now. Now, what I see, I think that this is very positive for you in the sense that whatever comes, it's helping you out, or you're starting to be able to organize or put in balance the scales. Maybe getting back that money, or you being able to pay back that money to that person, or that person to you. Something like that, okay? I needed to say this because I think this is very precise, but I definitely see this. Now, you have been fighting for the situation, and I think that this is something that has been I think this is something that has been stressing you out about this. Maybe you thought that this was never gonna happen, and you were like, man, come on, when the hell this is getting done? And I got almost the feeling that you feel that you still need to fight it, even though it looked maybe that you were gonna finalize something, and maybe what happened was that it didn't end, it continued. And because of that continuation, now maybe you're starting to think that there is something here that you need to move on from, Gemini. Gemini. What is coming in the hopes and fears? I really like when these things happen, because they move on that you want, but you are so fucking scared of. 6 of Wands. Physically moving on. Physically going into this direction that it can give you the sense of victory over the situation. But you're emotionally stuck in this situation right now. You feel still emotionally, in some way or another, you feel emotionally attached. And it's like you want the movement, but it's like you are scared of maybe doing this movement. It's like the 6 of Wands, it's going like the guy and the horse, it's going outside of the reading. So it's like you are wanting to be out of the situation. Because being in the state of mind, it doesn't work any longer for you. I mean, clear. Gem. It's like you don't want to be in fighting mode anymore. I have to be clear, guys. I have the feeling it's like you also want to do things right. Maybe there is some, as I said, I think maybe there was some finances attached to this situation that maybe you knew you needed to wait so that this issue could be arranged, and so then you could leave but being in peace. Being emotionally fulfilled about your situation, being emotionally feel that you are in alignment with the situation where you are at right now and not stuck. Now, what is coming at the end for Gemini? I gotta say, I want to know what is coming at the end before saying anything more, because what is coming at the end for Gemini, please? What I like about this is that no matter how hard you feel it right now, and no matter how tired you are up there, Gem. So don't forget that. You know, if this is resonating with you, and you are in the middle of this one right now, or you feel that way, I see that you are in a very actually greater position than this issue. So, and also finding a way, it's like, as I said, man, find your medium point. And I really like this energy because this is very practical energy, but that can really help you out to probably feel more, you know, like, wow, man. King of Pentacles with the Two of Cups. You know, generally I take maximum 2 cards when they flip. I never choose the cards myself. I let them fall, and generally I only take 2 maximum, sometimes 3, depending if it comes at the end of the reading. This is such a switch from what you're coming from right now. Not at all the same energy. 2 of Cups with the King of Pentacles, guys. This is, I mean, it's like no way you can compare coming from a 6 of Pentacles and ending the reading with a King of Pentacles. Man, I get the feeling that if I have to talk about your career, and definitely things are moving on regarding your career throughout this month, Gems. Saturn, Jupiter in your 9th house, Aquarius, they are moving direct. I mean, most of planets are moving direct throughout the month of November. You know, and a part of Neptune, Uranus, and Venus that is gonna enter in a few days in shadow period in Capricorn. But it's gonna be a good retrograde, very intense, special retrograde for Venus. And man, she's touching your 8th house, the house of finances, of other people, and how they are touching their finances to you. And it's also a house of psychology. It's a house of death, rebirth. It's a house of intimacy and sex. I mean, it's a house of a Scorpio, you know. And what I'm looking at here, and you know, when I'm talking about having Pluto in Capricorn, which is this King of Pentacles, is very Capricornian, Taurian energy, you know, this King of Pentacles. And this 2 of Cups, it's a lot like this emotional depth that Scorpio brings in this 8th house. It might be that until now you were in the process of being in the middle of a situation where you needed, like you were super worried, needed to take many things at the same time, and maybe fighting for something here, and feeling also that maybe emotionally things were not moving in the direction you wanted. But something here is like, I feel like because of your patience, your resilience, and your like energy of saying, man, maybe almost, I gotta say, determination regarding what you want and where are your boundaries. Whatever we're talking about in a relationship in your life or a situation at work, I think that you put your step down in the situation, Gemini. Like you said, man, this is my line, this is what I want, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm going into this. I think because exactly of this, of you doing this, and probably also taking the time, knowing that maybe this is something that was gonna take some time, this is something that wasn't gonna move fast, or still right now it's not the case. The fruits that are coming from this situation are that not just good, Gem, they are magnificent. If I will have to talk about maybe if you had issues in a relationship, maybe you have too many practical things in the middle that got into the connection, and maybe there was a lot of coldness in the relationship, maybe there was some financial issues that you needed to arrange in the situation, and because of that, feeling the victory or feeling that you could be maybe even respected by this person throughout some time, it was very difficult. And I think that maybe you were planning on leaving because of that. Maybe you were planning on leaving and you could not move because you still have the cups, the exact two cups that this guy wanted and he thought he maybe didn't have. And the thing is that this King of Pentacles, it's bringing these two cups, those two cups that you actually were hoping for, or maybe even fighting for. Venus and Pluto in the 8th, man, is an energy that, I mean, because in a way Capricorn helps this energy to be practical in a way, or become more, let's say, become in this 3D world, be more understandable, no, let's say, be maybe something that can become more realistic in a way. But what happens in this house of transformations might be that you might have an encounter with this person, or maybe this might represent somebody new, but to be honest, I don't think that this is somebody new. I think that this is, whoever it is, this King of Pentacles, this is somebody you already know. Somebody that you already have a special bond, emotional bond with. No matter how much you know them, this is somebody that has been in your life for already some time. And I don't know if it's the same person that I'm looking at your environment right now, okay? To be honest, maybe it is. Maybe it's the same person, but maybe this could represent somebody else that might come out from your past. I mean, and that merging that Venus does with Pluto and transform it, maybe it's like having an intimate, very intimate encounter, maybe a sexual experience, Gemini, where it's almost like you feel that you merge in that moment, you connect at an emotional level with this person that maybe it's like you even didn't expect it. Really, I'm being fully like, I think that this is something that even might become even more solid than you thought it would be. Like, this is a very stable energy. Whoever it is, this person, this is somebody that means business. This is somebody that they might be very practical, but when they open up themselves, they're very worth your trust. And they really want to connect, and you want to connect with them. It could be, if it would be regarding your work, and this is not about an intimate connection, okay, with someone. It could be that person that offers you a job, or you are starting a new contract. Definitely 2 of Cups with the King of Pentacles. You starting a new contract that puts you in a higher position regarding your career, and probably is what it might help you out to put the scales in balance if you come from a period of being a little bit burnt out about this situation. You see? Like you being able to higher up your position regarding your economical situation. Maybe it's like that money back that you get paid from taxes, or maybe somebody gives you a new contract or an extra salary that elevates your salary for next period, and this is something that emotionally fulfills you, emotionally fills you. It makes you feel like you are in peace, you are in balance, you are like finding in a way that perfect medium point, Gemini. And I really love these combinations so much, really. As I said, if it would be about a relationship, whoever might be this person, I have the feeling that maybe something about this connection, when we're gonna have throughout the 19th of this month, this eclipse and Uranus into your 12th house, and then the sun in a few days later is gonna enter in your 7th house of relationships, while Venus and Pluto are gonna stay in Capricorn in your 8th house for a long period. Might be that important connections from the past might come back in your life, Gem. It doesn't have to be exes or things like that. No, it's not only about that. This might be just people that in the past you knew, but maybe you didn't see in a while. You never really had a connection with, and then suddenly you encountered them again now after maybe decades or years, and suddenly you're like, man, why I didn't talk to you before? You know that kind of feeling? Like, how is it possible I didn't get to have this conversation with you until now? And actually realizing like, wow, you know? And sometimes maybe that encounter, it doesn't have to go to the level of becoming the romantic experience of your life, but it might be a connection that might open a door, an emotional door that you thought it never existed at even a friend level, or you discovering maybe emotions, feeling emotions that put you again in a sense of feeling again more stable and grounded, Gem, because this is actually how you're coming out of these readings, like you being the King of Pentacles, feeling grounded, feeling serene, feeling calm, like confident, like this King, feeling at peace, feeling emotionally in balance, feeling that whatever you add now, you achieve the goal you wanted to achieve. And there is even something here about your independence and you feeling maybe even autonomous regarding your work or what you're doing in your practical life. If I will have to talk about health, and this has been one of the subjects that you have been taking care of for a long time, I think that this King of Pentacles represents, it's like very healthy, naturalistic energy. Maybe suddenly you find a diet that it's more bio-organic, or a way of consuming or like relating to nature or your food. It's more it's more related to the environment and to your own health, and so because of these changes or these new routines, suddenly you are able to feel so much better. But then all these it dissolves, it fucking dissolves. Gems, I really love this reading, guys. I'm so happy. I love your vibe so much. I want to say thank you for all the views. It has been amazing. I don't even know how is that I'm getting so many views with you Geminis. You know what? I thought about it. I thought, you know what? My Venus, my natal Venus is in Gemini. So I thought maybe my Venus is giving me here some gifts. Anyway, thank you for being that gift, Gems. I'm gonna see you next month. Bye bye.